Hello everybody, welcome to a first on the stream or on the channel predicting wrestling, pro wrestling, because why not? The Rumble is tomorrow, it's the road to WrestleMania, it begins tomorrow, so why not? We're day away, why not do it every once in a while, predict this and predict maybe WrestleMania, stuff like that. It should be fun, it should be fine. But anyway, the road to the WrestleManias begin tomorrow, and it should be fun, it should be a great show. The first one under Triple H, which hopefully it stays like that for a little bit or for a little while longer. I'll be honest, I don't think Vince will be taking hold of the company back anytime soon. Mostly, well, because I personally think that he can't really do much. As long as Trips is doing a good job, I don't think anybody buying the company or trying to get the rights for the company or for the shows be too interested in Vince just power struggling or power grabbing everything. So at least until the contracts are done or the contracts are activated, and I expect Vince McMahon to stay behind and wait, because then legally he could be effed. But until then, who knows? But anyway, this will be the first Royal Rumble with Triple H in charge, the first road to WrestleMania with the big man in charge of the company, and it should be a good lot of fun, hopefully. Although I'm more excited for the Rumbles themselves, which is obviously the Royal Rumble's point. Honestly, I think basically everything else on the show is sometimes a bit filler. There could be, listen, it's all gonna be great, but it's the Rumble matches we all care about. So yeah, the match card so far is let me check, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches. Maybe the Raw, not the Raw, the SmackDown, the Women's Championship or the tag titles might be added to it, but I think so far it's only going to be 5 matches with 2 Rumbles. Should be fine. So I don't. Let's go through some of these matches first. The 3 matches that won't be a part. Let's put it that way. It will be a part of the show, but these will come. I predict this will be the one right in the middle, or maybe before the men's Royal Rumble, and it is the Pitch Black match between Mr. LA Knight and Bray Wyatt, the return of Bray. Honestly, easy peasy. I think it's not easy peasy. I think, probability speaking, it's gonna be Mr. Knight's Knight. Let's put it that way. You could argue it's Bray's first match back, his first true match back in the company, and you have him lose. Would you really? Yes. I think it's an easy prediction to do. LA Knight wins with Uncle Howdy being the one who gives him the victory. I think this might be the match that comes right. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't actually know the position of the matches, because later on we also have the Raw Women's match, where Alexa will be a part of it, and the whole thing with Uncle Howdy is also affecting her. So now that I didn't think about that, where it comes forth in the things, because I think, honestly, it's the undisputed Universal title match that opens the show. It's the world title match, because Roman either opens or closes the show. Then you would have a Rumble. Then you would have the 2 matches. So maybe they do that world title match, Pitch Black, or Raw Women's match afterwards, Women's Rumble, Pitch Black, Men's Rumble, maybe, perhaps, possibly. Yeah, let's go with that order of matches. Again, I think LA Knight wins this. builds him up for whatever he's going to do at WrestleMania, which we don't know. It also builds up Bray versus Uncle Howdy, which probably will be the match at Mania. Makes sense. And maybe some Uncle Howdy and Little Miss Bliss shenanigans are at play. Then we move on to the next one, which will be, well, the Raw Women's title match. Bliss is not winning, is she? This is going to be 100% Belair. There's no doubt about it. Belair will then defend the title at Mania, with perhaps the win of the Women's Royal Rumble, which we'll talk about it in a little bit. But yeah, it's another one of those. It's like easy. It's an easy victory. You don't really need too much, and you already know. Come on. There's no way. If Bliss wins, I'll be legitimately surprised. If Bliss wins, then I think Belair wins the Rumble, but I don't see it happening, so I don't think it will. So yeah, that again, easy prediction, boys. Easy, perhaps the easiest to predict. Actually, no. Yes. Okay. So next we have this is the easiest to predict. What is it? It's the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match between the Tribal Chief, Mr. Roman Reigns, and KO. Well, again, it's easy. It's Roman. They're not making Roman lose this close to WrestleMania. There's no way in hell it happens. Roman wins this, and we'll talk about more of the whole storyline around this when we get to the Men's Rumble, because, I think it should all go very well together in the end. So we move on, because this is an easy one, and this, I think, more stories to talk about in the Men's Rumble. We move on to the 30 Women Royal Rumble match. I believe this is the official match card tag there for Women's Wrestling Wrap-Up, which was the only one I could find of it. I don't know if this is the latest one, but I do know that there's very few women announced for the match itself, and this one, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious who the winner will be. She's right there in the middle. It's going to be Rita, isn't it? But the part of the fun of the Rumbles and predicting the Rumble match is who can we expect to see in the Rumble match itself. On the women's side, let's go for a few surprises. Well, to be fair, if this is the official match card, and unless SmackDown has like 30, the rest of the women all announced, will be WWE now seems to be much more open to other companies. So last year we saw Mickie James with the Impact Knockouts Championship. Perhaps we'll see her again this year. Maybe we'll probably see Kairi Sane, which is the IWGP Women's Champion. Who else could we? I think within the company we probably see Meiko Sadamoto making her first and perhaps only Rumble appearance, and given a respectful legend spot in the Rumble. Chelsea Green has allegedly re-signed with the company, and they're waiting to debut her, and I probably will be here in the Women's Royal Rumble because it's the one that makes the most sense in it. Who else? I throw this one out there, crazy prediction out there in the wavelengths. I think Sasha Banks shows up here. I think Naomi returns here, and I could see Sasha appearing as well, perhaps. I say Sasha because this will be in the WWE ring, so she would be as Sasha Banks, is not as Mercedes Moné. So I think perhaps, as farewell, a sent off before she goes doing whatever it is that she's going to be doing in Japan, perhaps going all elite. We have to wait and see. But then again, there's not a lot of other women that could show up in Legends. To be fair, we can have Lita, we can have Trish. Honestly, from the current roster, I'll be surprised if Becky or any of Damage Control are not in it. And we also have NXT. If it wasn't for the angle they ran on NXT, I would have said Nikita Lyons would be here, but she probably isn't. But I could see Roxanne Perez showing up. She is the current NXT Women's Champion. Perhaps either or member of Toxic Attraction. Maybe this is finally the main roster call up for Indy Hartwell. Maybe Wendy Chu shows up. It's up there. It's a lot of people could show up. Literally, if these are all the women announced, we have 23 spots to fill. There's a lot of mileage to be had in the women's Rumble, and perhaps Ronda shows up. Who knows? But there's 23 spots. A lot can change in it. And SmackDown happens in a few hours. We'll have to wait and see. And finally, we get to, I want to say the big one, because but I don't want to sound disrespectful towards the women, but it is going to be the biggest match of the biggest one of the two, especially because of how much storyline going into it and why, and predictable but also kind of unpredictable in a way. And it is the 30-man Royal Rumble match, and like before, I think the winner is right there in the middle. It's Mr. Cody Rhodes. I mean, he's doing it for his dad. He's back from injury after wrestling literally in Hell in a Cell without a tit. His pec was completely off the bone, and my guy went on to have an all-time classic with Seth freaking Rollins. So that's the reason that he would be the winner of the Royal Rumble. Becomes surprises and appearances. I think we have 15 men confirmed, which I don't think it's all of them in this picture. Let's see. Oh, I think here they're missing 4. I'm pretty sure 15 have been confirmed. Maybe there's been less. I don't know. If it's 15 and with 15 spots to go, everybody's predicting. Brock Lesnar will be one to set up his feud with Bobby. John Cena might be one to set up whatever he's doing, if he's doing anything at Mania, be it with Austin Theory or another surprise entrance in Logan Paul. But either or could be it. I think the thing that's missing here is that the Street Profits have confirmed that both of them will be in the Rumble. I think Kofi might be the only one from the New Day, and I hope Kofi's the only one from the New Day, and I also hope that he isn't. I'll explain. I hope he's the only one in the New Day, as in, I don't like it when tag teams are in the Royal Rumble. I just feel, it feels very much, it's weird, right? Because it feels like there's just filling out numbers. It's all that it is. And it feels, because they're not winning. So it feels like kind of a waste of a spot. And again, a lot of spots are, I don't know, it feels weird saying that. It's stupid to say that, but it's also, I just hope that tag teams don't really I don't think tag teams should be, both members should not be a part of it, because then it's stupid that they don't help each other win. I get like, oh, but they always do the stupid storyline of like, oh, you got me after one eliminates the other, and it's like, well, you should work together until you're the final two, then you eliminate people, then you eliminate each other. Come on, it's the one that makes the most amount of sense, not the other way around. But yeah, anyway, but also I hope that Kofi isn't the only one in it, because it's not Xavier the one that I want to see. If we are going to see a second member of the New Day, please let it be Big E, because that would be a fucking incredible moment. Big E, after he broke his neck, I think it was a broken neck, that could have, he could have had an career-ending injury. He could have been paralyzed. I think also death was a conversation that could have happened, which is fucked. It would have been lovely to see him. It would be lovely to see him in the Rumble should he be healthy. It's been almost a year since he injured his neck, which is insane to think about. Where does time go? Also, the rest of the field that probably will be there, either 1 or 3 members of the Judgment Day, with I think Dominic eliminating Ray and preparing Dominic versus Ray match at Mania. And also that's the thing, I think probably Karrion Kross is the one that's missing from this list. So this has 11. You add in the Street Profits, 13. You add in Karrion Kross, and that's 14. So basically 1 missing. I'm not remembering who could it be. You have these. Maybe Xavier also confirmed he's going to be in the Rumble. I don't know. I don't remember. It was very hard to find this match graphic, by the way, so it's crazy. Now, there is the elephant in the room. That is The Rock and the Bloodline. So, I'll make a prediction that The Rock is not in the Rumble. He doesn't need the Rumble to just face Roman. He could easily just come out one night and say, hey Roman, you're not the head of the table. I'm The Rock. Match at Mania. They could do that easily. The Rock is a guy that comes in, says he wants a match. It's the main event. And you don't go against that. There's very few people that could legitimately show up and say, I want a match with you for the title at Mania, or I just want a match with you at Mania, and it's instantly acceptable and instantly main event, and that's The Rock and that's Steve Austin, as long as they can go, obviously. So I don't think he's in it. Then we get to the other big elephant in the room, which is the entirety of the Bloodline storyline with Roman and Sami. Now, I don't think the emotional payoff, the storyline payoff, is of Sami versus Roman. I don't, seriously. It's not a thing of like, I wouldn't mind if Sami won, by the way. I just don't see the storyline like that being the end-all be-all, like I've seen so many people say. Especially when the match, let's put it that way, that would be the emotional payoff, would be Sami and Jay. Like, Jay was the one against Sami all this time, and he's the one that fought for him now. That would be the story. Now, if people are really into the whole thing, Sami should be the one to dethrone Roman, but are like, oh, they will turn this if they will like this, and if Cody wins, people are going to turn on Cody like they did to Batista. I disagree, okay? Because it's a completely different situation. Batista was coming in as a part-timer against a full-timer, Daniel Bryan, who was also coming in a period of time where people were pushing for months for Daniel Bryan to be in the title picture or be in the Rumble or be the WrestleMania main event. It's good to remember that whole thing began before SummerSlam 2012. It wasn't just like this where it's in the last month people have been going like, oh, this Sami story is fantastic. Oh, Sami to win the title, dethrone Roman. It wasn't until like War Games that the whole thing began to gain steam. Even at War Games, I would argue it's been more recent than that people have been like, oh, Sami for the championship, and they haven't presented him as a title contender. He could be, and he definitely is, but I don't think right now is the place. Now, if you really want Sami to be in the title picture, really be the thing, I say this: I think I have the perfect storyline where it puts everybody happy. You have Cody winning the title, winning the Rumble, main event WrestleMania, and get WWE Championship, and you still get Sami to get to dethrone Roman. I'll explain. And you still also have The Rock in the main event, which is it's this. If you wanna dethrone Roman, there's two dethronings that could happen, depending on how they do it. You could be the first person to take a title from Roman and take his 3-year run without being defeated. Oh, and you could also take the person, or you can also be the person that beats Roman for the Universal Championship. And I think you can separate the two. I know sometimes it's people don't think through it, but like let's look at it this way. Let's put it this way. Let's make this thing. I'll make this. This is my pitch to have Cody win the Rumble, Sami win the Universal title, Roman and The Rock at the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, and Cody Roman Night 2. So, my plan is this, or my idea would be this. Obviously, number 1 and 2 you put in, it's gotta be 1 and 2 is Cody and Seth, right? And they go on to the last 2 or whatever. You can have where was it? Yeah, number 30 is Sami, but as Sami is about to win WWE Championship, I think I was trying to see something very clear, but I think oh yeah, no, okay, cool. Okay, I saw what I wanted to see. Okay. So where was I? Yeah, Sami comes out number 30, and he's going to enter the Rumble, but then Roman stops him. He comes out with the Bloodline. Roman stops him and says, "I'm in the Rumble." You could say, well, why would Roman be in the Rumble? Easy. Just to ensure that nobody would fight him at WrestleMania. Because he's a prick. You could easily tell that story. Comes in, Bloodline comes in as well, and they start wailing on the final two, which would be Cody and Seth again, or whomever's in the ring at the time. Officials come in and break apart the brawl, and then BAM! Eliminate Cody and Seth and whomever, how many people are in the ring, eliminate Roman. Roman and the Bloodline get back in, the thing, and then boom, back out. There's a huge a scrap, let's put it that way. Cody wins the Rumble, main event WrestleMania. But before Cody can say anything at the next night or whatever, it's made a decision, it's made official. Come WrestleMania, as punishment for what the Bloodline did at the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns will be forced to defend both titles. The titles are being split. He's forced to work both nights. That's when you have The Rock come in. The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania Night 1 for the Universal title. Night 2 for the WWE title. And you say, Cody, you can just pick the title that you want to fight for. Cody obviously goes for the WWE title, as in bringing prestige to his family, bringing the final title to his family. It's blood that they never won. Easy. That's what you can do. Now, the thing I was trying to see, and the thing that kind of messed my attention up a little bit and kind of fucked me up, was this very simple thing. I was trying to see what was the date for Roman's victory at winning the WWE title, the Universal title, back in 2012, and it was August 30th. Now, SummerSlam this year is on the 30th of July, so it just misses it what I wanted to do. It is this night at the Raw after WrestleMania, the SmackDown after Mania, because the Raw after Mania will be the Cody celebration and all that shit, and you can have the World title on Raw. They want to split the belts. I think this is the best way to do it, or one of the best ways to do it, just like they did with the Usos. Now, you can have on SmackDown that Roman gets pissed. That Roman can simply say, this is all Sammy's fault. It was when he began to trust him that things started falling apart. That's when he, for the first time, lost in 3 years. It was Sammy giving him the Rumble spot that made Roman be punished with the titles being split, and he was because of that he was tired on night 2 after the hellacious match with The Rock that made him lose the title to Cody. They turn on Sammy. You can even have that the Usos are not there, because I don't think that they will turn on Sammy. They'll be very much with Sammy. I think that's the problem with the Bloodline now turning on Sammy, is that the Bloodline, most of it feels on Sammy's side. Like Jay defended him, telling back. Jimmy stood up with his brother. I can see Solo being the one that's like, oh no, I don't want to be part of it. But I also saw a little bit of like maybe Solo didn't want to hit Sammy. You have that. You have Sammy. You have the beat up Sammy, destroy Sammy, beat him up. He disappears for a while. There's tensions brewing in the Bloodline. You can even have that being a storyline within the family. They all held that the Usos lose at least one of their titles. At this point, with the return at the Rumble earlier on, Naomi, I think she should be the one to face Charlotte for the women's title, the SmackDown women's title at WrestleMania. Maybe win it as well. It should be fun. So the Bloodline have all the gold, but this is the beginning of the end of it. They beat up Sammy, whatever. A few months go in. There's tension, clear tension between the Bloodline. Maybe Jay is starting to stand up more to Roman and stuff like that. And then you just have it that at SummerSlam, you know, it can't be, but okay, wait. It's not that. What is WWE? Because I just checked that SummerSlam is on July 30th. So it's a month before the 3-year anniversary of Roman winning the Universal title. You'll be what, 1,000 days almost as a champion. Let's see. Let me just put here August. Oh, it was August 30th. 2020 to July 30. 2023. How many days will be between them? Roman will be the champion for 1,065 days. And then you have Sami dethrone him there. You have Sami beat him at SummerSlam, at the main event of SummerSlam, for the title. That way, you get everything. You get Roman, and I honestly could also see it as the storyline also concluding with Sami becoming the new tribal chief, or Jay becoming the new tribal chief, with Sami being there, part of the family. That's what I think personally. I saw someone say, like, I think it was like one of the guys from Wrestling, I think it was Luke, that's like Jimmy might be will be glad to turn on Sami. Like, they completely ignore the fact that Jimmy also put the one in the sky, saying like Jay is the only one that stands up for Sami, he's the only one that will defend Sami, he's the only one that will do it, when clearly he isn't, given the fact that Jimmy also stood with him and all that stuff. And more importantly, the thing was like, oh yeah, and then Jimmy or Jay, Sami stole Jimmy's thunder at the end because he defended the Raw Tag Team titles with Jay at Raw 30, because Sami totally stole the thunder from Jimmy. If Jimmy feels like Jimmy stole this thunder after Sami stood up to defend the title that he couldn't, and the title he worked so hard to win and keep for over a year, or almost a year, that was the Raw Tag Team titles, and he stole my lot, that would be stupid in my opinion. That legitimately would be like a dumb plot twist in this whole thing, because like, he helped you out, you stood up with him, you stood up with your brother against Roman. It's like, oh yeah, Jimmy just goes along with it. I don't think it's quite as clear. But yeah, those are the predictions for the Royal Rumble 2020. Also 2023. Also, yeah, surprises in the Men's Rumble. I also expect a couple people from outside the company. The Great Muta is an easy one. BT Sport, I think, was like asking like, is this the time Jay White shows up? It could be, if they're gonna go get somebody from Japan to be like a big like fuck you statement to AEW, if they are doing big fuck you statements to AEW, I personally would be a big fan of them bringing in Okada instead of Jay White, just because he's the ace of New Japan, and he's the one that got all the 20-star matches with Omega. That would be funny and interesting. I think that would be that would pop me just because of how funny it is. I think a lot of wrestling more hardcore fans would too. But again, this is selling out to a huge arena. This is in a stadium, so there's going to be full with mostly casual audiences. So it will be interesting to see how much the crowd cares for like stuff like people from outside the company, from other companies that haven't been within WWE. I also think this will be the return of Matt Cardona or Zack Ryder, and I think that for the people that don't know him, or that don't know the rebranding from Zack Ryder to Matt Cardona, I think it'll be fun if we have like the opening where he comes out at like number 3 will be a good spot for him, and you just hear, you would hear woo woo woo, and then it starts a new theme, kind of like Firefly Funhouse. Like, we begin, the Fiend's theme, and like, we're really glad that you're our friend. And it went into Let Me In, or Let Him In, I think was the name of the song. Maybe they do that for Cardona to reintroduce him in what could be his now big run within the company as like a major player, doing what Cody did and what Drew did, of going outside the company, doing stuff, coming back better than ever, and obviously just doing stuff. For most of WWE's terms with Vince, it would have been, they were doing stuff outside of the company. Although to be fair, I do think like Jimmy Smith or Vern or whatever it was like, do you think Cody has ring rust after being away from the WWE ring for 6 years? I think it was I don't remember if it was Kevin Owens or if it was Corey Graves like, shut up, he's not, he has been wrestling, we know this, which was back then was interesting. But anyway, I guess those will be the predictions for the Royal Rumble. Once again, just to round it up again, I think LA Knight wins the Pitch Black match with the help of with the help of Uncle Howdy and maybe Alexa Bliss. Bianca Belair retains the Raw Women's Championship. Roman retains the undisputed title. Should any other matches be added, championship matches, I think they're inconsequential. The champions will retain, although I don't think, because it's a Royal Rumble, I don't think they want to put too many matches on the match card, unless the Rumble match, unless the Universal title match is the final match, which would be UFA. And also, yeah, I forgot to say that, what would be the final test for Sami Zayn? Honestly, I think Sami Zayn's final test will be being I agree with somebody said, I think again was Luke from what Wrestle Talk, that said that maybe the final test is for Paul Heyman, would be fun, but I do think the final test for him would be either give up his Rumble spot to Roman, like I said in my fantasy booking thing, or it's the final special guest referee in the title match, like they pull some strings to get him in and do that, and then Rhea Ripley wins the Women's Rumble, and then Cody wins the Men's Rumble. But that'll be it. Thank you all for watching my first time doing predictions for wrestling on the old YouTubes. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and take care, have peace, have a good SmackDown, and let's hope that the Rumble is good, and let's have some fun with it, shall we? Okay, everybody.